Hi guys, test 1 2 3 1 2 3. Oh my god, paano ko ba to start? Guys, welcome to my channel. This is a new channel, Little Pinay Nurse. My name is Emma, also known as Little Pinay Explorer, also known as Fatima, my original name. I am 33 years old. I am a nurse here in the UK for going 5 years now. So I started in year 2018 November here in the UK. And gusto ko lang i-share yung experiences ko without any filter. Kaya ginawa ko yung vlog or podcast na ito so I could express myself and share lahat. No filter, charot. At gusto ko din at some point to interview other people so that they can share their experience kung ano yung mga naging challenges nila or anything that they want to share para sa madlang people, especially nurses or aspiring nurses in the Philippines. So, yeah, that's the vision and mission of this new channel and this new vlog. So, I hope you guys will subscribe and message me or comment down below whatever you think this is. Charot. Anyway, let me tell you about my background. So, I graduated year 2010 in Tacloban City, Remedios Trinidad Romualdez Foundation, RTRMF, Remedios Trinidad Romualdez Medical Foundation, Tacloban City. So, doon ako nag-graduate in 2010. And then right after, nag-call center ako after passing the licensure exam. My mom was against it, pero kasi I was so tired of asking money, and at that time, in year 2010, walang masyadong vacancies. There was nothing. Yung nangyayari is, we have to pay the hospital so that we can gain experience and work in the hospital. So, it's called volunteer, pero kami ang magbabayad, which is so unfair. Kaya hindi ako nag-nurse at that time. I went to Cebu City, worked as a call center for like 5 years. And to be honest, at that time, parang feeling ko, I don't wanna go back to nursing anymore kasi I was so scared of handling people's lives in my hands na parang nakalimutan ko na yung everything. But it came to a point where I got like quarter life crisis na parang hindi ko alam yung direction ko. I was just like, ano ba to? What is this life that I'm having? Pero 5 years after kasi, like, people were going out, like migrating and working as nurses in other countries like Saudi, UK, everywhere, New Zealand. So, parang madami yung naging vacant na. Like, they need nurses na. So, I came back to Tacloban City and worked in a hospital. Initially in a public hospital. Pero ilang months lang. And then, I applied in a private hospital and worked as a neonatal intensive care unit, which I actually enjoyed kasi I enjoyed taking care of babies. I always want to be a mom, and that was a chance for me to hold babies, feed them, cuddle them. It was so nice. After 1 year of working as a neonatal intensive care unit nurse, I was already preparing for IELTS. So I was studying IELTS. I did a self-review at I shared how I did my self-review, and that's the most watched video that I have in Little Pinay Explorer channel. And then eventually 1 year and 8 months after, I took the IELTS exam and then I passed on my first take, and I immediately looked for an agency. At that time, there were a lot of agencies looking for nurses. There were a lot. Tapos, nag-apply ako doon sa first agency na in-applyan ko was UCLH actually. And yung in-applyan ko was Neonatal Intensive Care Unit. I actually traveled from Tacloban to Cebu, and I just didn't do well with the interview process. So, meron silang mga nurses from the UK na pumunta talaga ng Pilipinas para mag-conduct ng interview. And the interview process was like dreadful. Kasi parang it was like an OSCE kind of thing na parang demonstration. Mayroon talagang baby na mannequin, tapos tinatanong ano yung problema ng baby. Merong parang blood dun sa diaper and something. And hindi kasi ganun ka-intensive yung experience ko kasi maliit lang yung hospital namin, na private hospital, yung pinagtrabahoan ko. So, basically, I failed. Then, I tried again with a different agency. My first agency was GHR. I don't know if they're still operating. I think nag-close na sila. Pero they were in partnership with my first hospital in the UK, sa Watford. And I passed the interview, pero it was a bit awkward for the interview kasi online lang siya. We didn't have a good internet connection dun sa bahay. So, I had to use a public one, like computer shop. Tapos, medyo naririnig ng mga ibang tao na nandun yung pinagsasabi ko sa interview, which is awkward. But anyway, napasa ko naman yung interview. It was for an adult nursing, which I was okay with. Imagine, I just experienced 1 year and 8 months working as a nurse in the Philippines, mostly taking care of babies and then transferring to the UK, taking care of older babies. Charot. I started in a ward, general surgical ward, pero madami kaming mga patients na from ITU step down. So, medyo heavy shock. Imagine kung galing pa lang ng ITU yung pasyente, madami pa silang mga contractions or mga, alam mo yon, feeding, mga ganon. So, it was very challenging for me. And imagine na grabe ang busy ng ward. Sobrang busy ng area. And then yung manager ko at that time was really scary and unapproachable at lahat ng tao takot talaga sa kanya. And even sa ibang mga areas, takot sa kanya. Kilala siya as someone na nakikipag-away to everyone. At yung perfect example, if you have watched The Devil Wears Prada, ganun yung always situation namin. Like, kung she is working there, parang feeling ko hindi ako makahinga. Parang merong nakaganito sa lieg ko. And then one time, I was just having a conversation sa isa kong katrabaho. Sabi ko, alam niyo ba, pag nasa bahay ako, parang palagi kong nare-remember yung mga bagay dito sa hospital, yung trabaho ko, na parang yung anxiety ko, nababahala ko. Tama ba yung ginawa ko? Or naiisip ko pa rin most of the time about yung trabaho ko kahit nasa bahay na ako. Tapos sabi ng isa kong katrabaho, alam mo ako din, kasi sa bahay kahit naliligo ako, parang palagi kong naiisip yung trabaho. So, hindi lang talaga ako, kaming lahat. Tas yung ward na yon, as in, madami yung nag-resign na sa area na yon kasi nga, napaka-stressful. Hindi lang physically, emotionally pa, mentally. Kaya, after 1 year, lumipat na ako. Pero, before ako naglipat, in-interview ako ng matron kasi parang sabi niya, bakit ang daming nagre-resign dito? Like, in the last month, 4 na nurses yung nawala, nag-resign and all that. Tapos, ayun, shinare ko talaga dun sa matron lahat ng mga bagay na nangyari. Tas, as in, dahil hindi ko alam, pero naiyak talaga ako in front of the matron. Minsan, hindi ko mapigilan talaga. Kasi, na-remember ko yung time na parang I was struggling with one patient kasi yung patient medyo maarte, may pain siya, tapos sumisigaw siya and all, pero ginawa ko na lahat, binigay ko na lahat, wala na akong maibigay. So, hinihintay ko na lang yung doctor na dumating para mag-review sa pasyente. Tapos, ini-explain ko sa pasyente. Naririnig ng manager ko. Tinawag niya ako, sabi niya, ano nangyayari sa pasyente mo? Sabi ko, kasi ganito, ganyan, na-explain ako about sa pain, blah, blah, blah. Tapos, binagsak niya yung malaking papel na hinahawakan niya sa mga papers. Binagsak niya, tas sabi niya, kasi baka hindi tama yung mga pinagsasabi mo. Tapos, as in yung time na sinabi niya yon, para akong binuhusan ng malamig na tubig. As in, hindi ko alam kung ano yung reaction ko na parang ginagawa ko na yung lahat. Ikaw yung manager na kailangan mo akong tulungan dito. Ikaw dapat yung parang haligi ng tahanan ko dito sa trabaho. Pero, you're just making things worse for me and the situation that I'm having. Parang yun yung feeling ko at that time na hindi ko mapigilan pero kailangan ko pa rin magtrabaho. Kahit yun na yung nafe-feel ko, na I was feeling so shocked. Pero, ayun, patuloy pa rin ako. Nag-empty ako ng catheter sa isang pasyente. Pero umiiyak ako dun habang nag-empty ng catheter. Kasi alam mo yung parang you need time off na mag-relax muna pero hindi mo kaya kasi ang daming trabaho na kailangan mong gawin. Yung isa pang nare-remember ko was mga 10 months or 11 months na ako dun sa ward. Medyo alam ko na yung anong gagawin and everything. Trained na ako sa IV medications. At that time, ang daming mga bagong nurses na hindi pa sila trained mag-IV. So, meron talagang day na ako lang yung kayang magbigay ng IV medications. Tapos yung iba is mga bago pa lang. Hindi pa sila pwede. So, struggle siya kasi ilang pasyente ba? 27 patients sa ward. Tapos ako lang yung pwedeng magbigay. Tapos, itong mga pasyente na to, madami silang kailangan na antibiotics, mga IV medications, kailangan pa silang i-wash, ang dami pang orders ng doktor, ang dami, may paperworks pa, mga monitoring and all that. Meron akong 6 patients months, yung iba pa dyan, dementia, yung iba kailangan mag-wound dressing. So, nagbibigay ako ng IV. Nandun yung manager ko. Nasa office siya. Alam niya na ako lang ang pwedeng magbigay ng IV. Siya yung magdo-double check sa akin. Tapos, pag pinapakita ko sa kanya para mag-double check siya, siya pang nasasabi, ano ba, bakit mo pa siya minimix sa saline? Hindi na kailangan, ganyan-ganyan. Wala namang problema kung mag-mix ka ng kahit konti lang na saline. Ayaw niya na magbigay ako ng ondansetron na merong halong saline. Which is technically, pwede siyang i-push, pero kasi minsan pag parang fragile yung vein, medyo mas okay pag merong saline para medyo less irritating sa vein ng pasyente, especially pag matanda. Kung ano yung gusto niya, dapat yun masunod. Kahit naman yung 2 options na yun is pwede, di ba? Pinapahirapan pa niya ako na, okay, hindi niya ipipirma. So, hindi ko mabibigay yung medication. Umiiyak na lang ako habang nagpe-prepare ng medications. Pumunta ako ng toilet, umiyak ako dun sa toilet din. So, yun. Kaya hindi ko na kaya after 1 year, nag-resign ako. Kahit yung contract ko talaga dun was 2 years. So, nagbayad ako ng parang half ng binayad nila. I think I paid 900 pounds sa hospital. It was like salary deduction. I was like, whatever, I'm gonna leave this place. Tsaka yun, nag-transfer ako sa Central London, sa malapit sa Waterloo. Parang ayaw ko sabihin kasi kung saan talaga ako nag-work. Let me just make it a mystery. Charot. Doon talaga ako sa Central London na ngayon nagtatrabaho. But before ako natanggap dyan, nag-apply din ako ulit sa UCLH. And then yung UCLH, medyo sila sa interview process nila. Ang daming cheche-boreche. Like, 3 phases sa kanila. Yung first nga is drug calculation. Tapos yung pangalawa was parang interview lang sa manager, which napasa ko naman yung first at saka yung second. Pero yung third, virtual reality siya na setup na I had to wear the goggles, tapos doon nakikita ko yung scenario. Yung scenario ko doon was, I think it was sepsis, tapos nag-fail ako kasi wala daw akong sense of urgency. Pero kasi hindi ko siya na totoo, kasi nga parang, alam mo yung mga cartoons, or hindi naman cartoons, pero yun nga, virtual reality. So, ayun, ang dami ko pang ibang mga tinanong, mga hinalungkat na mga past medical history na hindi naman importante. So, dapat yung ginawa ko is trinit ko na yung sepsis. Alam mo yun? But anyway, hindi nga ako nakapasa doon. So, nag-apply ako sa trust ko na ngayon. And then, the rest was history. Charot. I am working there now for almost 4 years. And masaya ako sa trust ko ngayon. Nag-start ako sa orthopedic ward, and yung manager ko doon, very supportive, mabait naman. Medyo stricto lang siya sa mga policies and all that. Pero, ang supportive niya sa akin. And gusto ko talaga yung nursing at that time. For me, it was very fulfilling, the job itself. So, na-enjoy ko yung bedside, na-enjoy ko yung orthopedics. Ang daming mga pasyente doon, especially yung mga older patients na ang dami nilang nasi-share. At always kong tinatanong, pag married sila tas matanda, parang, what's the secret of being together for a long time? What's the secret of a long and happy marriage? Ang saya lang na nasi-share din nila kung ano yung experience nila. Yun talaga yung pinaka-na-enjoy ko. And then, I think I was working there 9 months. Tapos, kailangan nila ng band 6. So, nag-open sila ng post at saka interview for band 6. Tapos, wala talaga akong planong mag-apply. Pero, ang daming nag-encourage sa akin, mag-apply ka lang, ganyan-ganyan. Para, parang experience lang. Tapos naisip ko, okay, maganda din yung may experience. Alam mo, medyo mahaba yung about sa band 6. So, I will save that for the next video or the next podcast session. So, watch out for that about becoming band 6. Ano yung mga questions sa interview? What was my experience? Pero ngayon, I'm back to band 5 kasi nag-change ako ng area. Nasa recovery na ako and I'm very happy. Parang meron akong peace of mind. Ang bait ng manager ko. She's very cool. Kaya parang ayoko nang mag-transfer. Like, I don't wanna go somewhere else. Parang I am settled in this place right now. Adapting to the UK culture, parang hindi naman ganun kahirap yung pag-adapt ko outside of work. Kasi when I first started, I was living with my closest friends na na-meet ko din sa agency when we first started. Pare-pareho kaming nag-work doon sa Watford. We lived in the same house, the 4 of us. And parang maganda lang yung dynamics ng friendship namin, kaming 4. Although meron din mga away na pa konti-konti, pero alam mo yung parang na-find ko yung the right people for me. They are like my family family here in the UK. Sila yung talagang pinaka-close ko. And then, siguro yung language din mahirap kasi in the Philippines, we are used to the American nursing terms. Dito, iba kasi yung terms nila. So, ang dami. Like, for example, yung pants kasi, trousers kasi yung tawag dito. Pag magsabi ka ng pants, it means underwear ng mga lalaki. So, merong funny story like, alam mo yung may tinutulungan kang pasyente na just anything na kailangan nilang tanggalin yung clothes nila. Merong isa sabi, can you take your pants off? Which we mean na yung ano lang, yung trousers lang yung tanggalin. Tapos sila parang nakukonfuse sila, ha? Pants? Kailangan tanggalin? Kasi parang akala nila lahat, like tatanggalin talaga pati yung ano nila, yung brief, kumbaga, pants yung tawag nila. So yun yung pinaka-perfect example for that. Confusing words. So yan, one of the challenges. Pero okay lang naman kasi ang dami kasi ditong mga taga-ibang bansa din na parang hindi din sobrang galing ng English. It's very diverse. So walang parang discrimination na hindi ka magaling mag-English or something. Very open yung mga tao dito for different And racism here is illegal. It's a very big thing. People are very sensitive about it. Ano pa ba? Sa atin sa Pilipinas is don't talk to strangers, but here it is widely accepted to talk to strangers and like have a little bit of humor and talk to them in a fun way or something like that. So gusto ko talaga yung culture dito. Parang people are trying to be nice. Although alam mo meron din mga tao na hindi nice, hindi grateful sa efforts mo and all that. But you will see all those people in different countries. Merong mga racist or mga hindi talaga maganda yung ugali, pero it's everywhere. Pero dito, at least they're trying to be nice. Minsan, parang more on sarcasm yung sa kanila kaysa sa, parang i-compare sa US. Sa US yung mga tao is medyo straightforward. Dito medyo less straightforward but they do a lot of sarcasm. Parang ganun yung na-experience ko. I don't know with others. And how do I feel about nursing nowadays? Actually, because after the COVID, I had burnout. So parang yung passion ko is not into nursing. Parang, alam mo yung just go to work, go home. I don't have any career progression, which is, it's not good. Kasi it's always advisable to have goals in your career or something like that. Pero I just don't have that. I'm just happy where I am right now. Na parang ayoko na, wala na akong efforts for others. But I do a lot of things outside of work, like this vlogging stuff and the TikToking and all that. So masaya na ako sa ganun. Nagtatahi din ako ng mga tote bags as a hobby. Maybe next time I can make it as a business as well. Yung mga habits na na-change. I think now, parang nag-adjust na din ako ng culture dito sa UK. Parang feeling ko, naging more friendly na ako. I always try to smile to everyone, kahit sino. Pag mag-eye contact kayo, it's always good to smile, especially sa work. Kasi mahirap minsan pag hindi ka nag-smile. Although stranger siya, you don't know the person, pero parang sasabihin na pangit ng ugali niya or parang may ganun na impression yung tao na something. So, mag-smile ka, mag-hello ka, mag-good morning, kahit sino pa yan. That's my advice. Kung pupunta man kayo ng UK. So, parang mas naging open ako to talk to other people, kahit strangers. Ano pa ba? Tsaka yung habit na yung buhok ko, hindi na ako always nagsha-shampoo every day or parang 3 times a week lang akong hugas ng buhok, tsaka nagsha-shampoo. Sorry sa mga ma-offend or parang iba yung pananaw, pero dito kasi, parang hindi naman siya ganun kainit, so you don't have to wash it every day. Mas healthy pa nga pag hindi every day kasi nakakadulot siya ng hair fall. Especially yung water dito, medyo harsh. Kaya ang daming pumupunta dito sa UK na mga bago and then they struggle with hair loss. Gumagamit lang ako ng hair shampoo, the spray one. Ang dami dyan sa sa store. And always nag-lotion talaga kasi nga very drying yung tubig, harsh. Ang dami din ang nag-struggle with skin issues kasi pag pupunta dito nagkaka-pimples or mga ganun. Probably because of different weather. So kailangan talagang mag-hydrate, especially during winter kasi sobrang lamig. At saka yung British weather, it's very, very British. Paiba-iba, like in a day you can have like 4 seasons in a day. Yung parang mainit, tas sobrang lalamig, tapos uulan, tapos pwedeng mag-snow. Alam mo yung ganun, merong mga ganun na situation So yung ginagawa ko pag lumalabas ako, titingnan ko yung weather. Tsaka malaki kasi yung yung agwat, like the weather could be from 14 to 27. So it means pwedeng maging sobrang init, pero lalamig din at some point. So, palagi ako nagdadala ng jacket, kahit ano pang kainit yan. Kasi if ever uuwi ako ng gabi, malamig na. So, yun. It's a habit as well of bringing something warm. Pero hindi ako masyadong nag-struggle sa lamig kasi parang gusto ko yung lamig eh. I'm like Elsa. The cold never bother me anyway. Pero actually, it bothers me when it's windy. Kasi sobrang malamig pag windy. Tapos yung kamay ko as in, pwede siyang mag-icy-icy na parang nagnanamb na kasi sa sobrang lamig. So, palagi ko siyang tinatago pag like rinalagay sa bulsa, especially pag winter. So, ayun. Ano ang advice mo sa mga gustong maging nurse dito? So, yung advice ko po is maging nurse kayo dito. Pero ngayon, ewan ko lang kasi ang dami ding umaalis ng UK kasi dahil sa inflation. Like right now, parang feeling ko hindi na pareho before na mas malaki yung nasisave ko. Ngayon, hindi, parang nafe-feel ko talaga yung increase ng prices ng rent, ng mga bilihin, ng everything. So, ginagawa ko ngayon, hindi na ako lumalabas. Like, I'm always at home watching Netflix kasi yun lang yung way ko para makatipid. And hindi na ako nag-take away kasi sobrang mahal nan. So, kailangan ko magluto. Whenever I have work, kailangan meron akong mga meal prep kasi yun lang talaga yung makakatulong sa akin na mabuhay na hindi nagba-bank shift. Kasi hindi ako mahilig mag-bank kasi ayoko lang ng stress. I want a stress-free life. Charot. But life is so stressful, isn't it? So, pwede pa rin naman kayong pumunta dito. Makakapagtipid pa rin naman kayo. Pero, as long as you live a frugal life. Charot. Yung parang hindi kayo magagastos. Especially pag nasa Central London kasi sobrang mahal. Although, meron namang high cost allowance. Pero, ang daming temptation, ang daming pwedeng gawin for fun. Like, go bowling or mga ganon. Mga out with the friends and all that. So, yun. At some point, parang iniisip ko din na mag-transfer sa countryside eh. Pero parang, ewan ko, ayoko kasing iwan yung, yung current area ko, pati yung manager ko. Kasi masaya na ako sa kung where am I right now. I think we are finishing with the introduction now. Parang, ang dami ko pang i-share sa podcast na ito, such as yung experience ko sa Band 6, or yung dating British men. Ano pa ba? Yung mga ganun lang, like anything, or yung mga mistakes ko sa work, or ano ba yung mga common errors as a nurse, mga datics, or things like that. So, watch out for my episodes, the next few episodes. It will all be me and my experience. Pero, at some point, I will be asking some people to share their experience as well, interview my friends, my colleagues, kung sino lang yung gusto. It's good to share information, diba? So, anyone who wants to share something, message me on Instagram, Little Pinay Explorer, or you can email me in Gmail, fatimacotihar@gmail.com. So, yes, that's it. I hope you enjoy the first episode of my Little Pinay Nurse channel, and I hope you subscribe to my channel, and ano pa ba? I don't know. I hope I can sustain this channel, because sometimes I'm just good at starting things, and then I just end up stopping pag napapagod na ako. Pero hopefully, I can keep on continuing and doing this thing. All I want is to share information. If I get famous or if I get money from it, that's a bonus. Pero I always start something out of the intention of sharing information and helping those who might need the information. Thank you so much for your time watching this and even listening to this podcast. Oh, by the way, the reason that I'm doing a podcast is recently I've been hearing podcasts like anything, just any podcast that I've been listening to. And I feel like, oh my God, it's good to have something to listen to when I'm just walking. Like, if you can't use your phone face to face, like you can just put your phone in your bag or somewhere and then you're still listening to the podcast. It's just an efficient way of learning things na kahit hindi kakailangan ng super focus. Parang ganun. So, that's my intention and that's why I'm also doing a podcast like this. Yan ang vision and mission of the Little Pinay Nurse channel. So, this is so exciting, isn't it? So, yes, I hope I see you in the next episodes. And let me sing a song. Hello, is it me you're looking for? Oh, should I do ASMR? So, let's try ASMR. Oh my gosh. Okay, guys. See you later. Bye.